Good, how are you?
You doing that?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good.
Good deal. Whoop.
How you doing? How you doing, sir? All right. Yeah, Chief had a 10-year-old grandkid have a birthday today, so.
Uh-oh. You can't miss that.
No, hello?
You'd be in trouble.
Right. Oh, hello.
All right. Number 4 is public comment. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak to any item that does not have a public hearing? If you're an owner, applicant, interested party, or neighbor and wish to speak on a particular item, you will be called upon at that time. Okay. If there are no more public comments, then we will proceed to item 5. Item 5 is approval of the minutes. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting on December 3rd, 2025. Haley, I'll step with that. It passes by a vote of 2-0.
You want the first? You want the first motion?
Yeah, I did.
You did, and you seconded it?
Leo seconded it.
3-0.
3-0. I'd like to open the public hearing at 5:36 p.m. Number 6 is public hearing and consideration of variance request. Location is 360 James Street, Kermit, Texas, 79745. The zoning is the R1 single family low density. Legal description is lot 13, block 4, Brown Altman Edition, City of Kermit, Winkler County, Texas. Owner is Javier Miramontes and Veronica Valenzuela. Variance requested is an RV park of less than 1 acre. Okay, item 6 is a public hearing and consideration of a variance request for a 360 James Street, Kermit, Texas. All persons who may desire or to speak or give evidence in this matter, please stand and raise your right hand.
I want to put it on the.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may be seated. City Manager Mike Harris Mendez will now present this case. Yeah.
Madam Chair, board members, this particular case that you have before you is a permit that was not provided this year. I can tell you that in the past, they did receive a couple of permits. I think you notice it in your documentation here, that they do have proof of permit that was issued in April of 2024. And if I can, December of 2024 for this fiscal year 25, or for the year 25. The purchase of this occurred when the ordinance was already in place. And so the permits that were issued were inadvertently issued. They should not have been issued. And so what was happening prior to was that there was a process by which they came in and paid the permit. And then the utility building clerk simply accepted it, issued the receipt, and then went on with their business. Since then, we've changed the process to ensure that the RV parks that are coming in are actually in compliance with the actual ordinance. In this particular case, everything seemed to be fine, except for the fact that they're not on 1 acre. And so when they purchased the property, they should have complied with the 1 acre requirement that was there along with all the others. And they do not meet that requirement. So they're before you now to, I believe everything having your pictures, to try to receive a variance to allow them to open up the RV park. And the variance would be to have less than 1 acre. Is what they're here for.
When was the actual date of the ordinance?
In 2021,
So this was a clerical
yes. And it's been a clerical error for the last 2 fiscal years, or last 2 calendar years, I'm sorry.
So therefore, they weren't able to be grandfathered in.
No, they wouldn't have been grandfathered because the ordinance took place in 2021. Is that correct?
Correct. The property sold, which since the property sold in 23, they must conform to manor code unless
Right.
by exemption.
So, yeah, so the ordinance was passed in 2021, the property sold in 2023, which means that they fall under the new ordinance.
And in our RV ordinance, it states that when a property is sold, transferred name or anything, they must seek a variance request.
I have a question though. When a permit is granted, does someone go out to inspect the property before the permit is granted?
They do now. Prior to, the permits were simply issued by the utility building clerk
Right.
without a process by which the utility building clerk would notify code enforcement code enforcement go out and do an inspection of the property,
Right.
which is what they do now, which is the proper way for us to do it.
I
It
agree.
wasn't done that way prior to.
Right,
But of course, now that we have a complete new code enforcement staff along with Officer Higley and Officer
Ramirez. Ramirez.
yeah, Ramirez. And then, of course, we have Terry Menales that works there as well, but we have two officers. We are now following according to ordinance, state law, everything that we have. And so because of that, there was an inspection done on this property, which was found to be less than 1 acre.
so they came in to apply for a permit at the end of 25 before it expired, and we're not
And it was
giving them.
denied.
Yes, we noticed on the report that it was the RV permit, the RV park was created in 23, which is a red flag. Because no RV park of that size would have been allowed.
And this is
What should have been.
in the backyard of a residence,
Yes.
correct?
The backyard residence in a residential area.
Yeah. I also had a question on the parking for this RV park, because there wasn't much, I saw a picture in here. When I went by to look at it, I didn't actually see any vehicles in there, but there's not a whole lot of space for parking in there either, so I didn't know how.
This original park, when it was created before it was sold, was created before the proper RV parks that are with the current law where you have to have certain spacing and providing spacing for parking and all this stuff. It was created before that. It's essentially was created during the rush of put RVs in your backyard and make money off it era.
Right.
I would make note also that our ordinance states that only 1 housing unit is allowed per lot. Which means if you have a house there, you cannot put an RV there. And so our ordinance has been, now that ordinance has been in place for years.
Okay,
That basically says that there should only be 1 housing unit per lot.
And in general zoning, an RV is not a permanent house. It's a temporary, it's a
Right.
temporary deal.
Right.
So this, unfortunately, this is a, the RV park shouldn't be allowed in residential areas. In
No,
the first
I-
place, unfortunately, the city decided to do that back in the day. but
Yeah.
It shouldn't be allowed to this point.
I believe that's for moving on to this year, one with Mrs. Valenzuela.
okay. Do you guys have any more questions for Mike or anything else? One here, okay.
I mean, but are there spaces up to par? I mean, the way their RVs are parked?
I
mean,
believe
is
that if you-
proper distance between each RV and
I believe if you look at the spaces, they would conform to what our ordinance states as far as the numbering, pedestals, fencing, all of that is there, except for the fact it's less than 1 acre. And you've got all these units located on a property that should only have 1 housing unit.
The issue is being is we're trying to, the city's pushing forward with modern code and modern zoning. These RV parks were put in as temporary housing for money and stuff like, we know that Kermit had a housing crisis, it still does. This is no different than in the 60s when people were living in tents in this town. It's the same problem, but it's not proper. Anytime I go to trainings for code enforcement environmental and I mention that the city allows this to exist, they look at me like I ran over their dog. It's not common practice code. And that's why this 1 acre rule was put in place, is so that modern code and conformity could occur.
But when the oil boom occurred, of course, because of the sand crushing, there was a need to try to find as much housing as possible. The reason the man camp popped up, and you have probably 50 RV parks in the city,
It's 94,
94.
94 current RV.
Man,
parks.
I've been telling people 50.
It's 94. In a town of a little over 6,000. That's per RV spaces, that's between 500 and 1,000 RV spaces.
So we have 94 right now?
Yes, these are 2 RV parks, 3 RVs sitting in the back of residential neighborhoods throughout.
But are they permitted as
Yeah.
well?
These are permitted because they existed prior to zoning. And they keep them and they keep upgrading, so we can't get rid of them.
Oh, so.
That's
they're-
why the 1 acre
okay.
rule was put into place, therefore for property sales or changes, we can push the RV park out.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we actually have RV parks that that do not have any RVs in there, but they continue to pay the permit because they were in prior to 2021.
Oh, I understand.
They don't want to lose that permit.
Well, I'm glad as far as the city is concerned on the permits, that's been changed on that, and corrected and that would solve a lot of problems. So,
Yeah, we're now actually enforcing the way it should be.
yeah. Okay, so, we will now accept public comment. You can-
Habla.
So I can do in Spanish. I can speak English, pero it's better for me than.
Pues lo hacemos a translate, I'll translate.
Okay, I need him to please state his name and address for the record.
Diga su nombre y su dirección.
So my name is Javier Miramontes. My address is 606 North D Avenue, Kerman, Texas.
Thank you.
Ahora diga lo que quiere decir y yo.
Sí. Bueno, desde yo comprar esa propiedad, yo vine aquí y me dijeron que sí podía obtener un permiso, ¿verdad? Por la razón que la compré y obtuve 2 permisos. Y miré la área, está muy amplia, pues cada área tiene 2 parqueaderos. Y si hay que hacer algún ajuste, yo lo puedo hacer. Puedo quitar una o puedo quitar el building para que haya más parqueadero o algo. O sea, pues quiero que si me dan la oportunidad de obtenerlo para atrás.
Okay. He is saying that if he has to move an RV out, he will move it out, or the building shed, whatever's there to make more room for it. He came and got the permit twice. And nobody ever told him nothing. Cause they had told him he could.
I understand that.
Yeah, that's why I buy the property, because if you know, it's not taken because that was expensive. And maybe that's why I sell it a little more because of the hard part. So, and I see in the area, you know, there's a big backyard, there's a mess everywhere. So I think only like 2 is clean in the whole block. So I try to keep it clean. And if I can keep it down in park, so I don't know what else can do. It's a big lot, and I can do nothing there.
I do have a question though on the permitting too. This is March and they came in before December or in December to renew the permit.
Yeah, I got it a picture. You want to see the permit?
They came in on December the 16th, 2024 for this year.
Right.
And then they came in, I believe. I guess to put a permit.
Yeah, vine el otro año. In November, I think. And then, no.
November the.
No, I did nothing, so I kept calling, and then they told me no problem, so I have to go to the police side. They told me I just saw the police when I met them because I got a cameras over there. It's keeping everything safe and no people's coming stealing
It was
stuff.
November of 25 is when he came in.
To renew it for 26.
Right, but they didn't issue a permit. Because
Okay.
by that time, we already had it in place.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of when it went to code enforcement, Officer Higley and code enforcement.
Okay. Okay.
And so
You can see with 94 parks, it takes time to get
Right.
through all of them, because they all come in at once.
yeah, they're all due at one time.
Right.
And
Okay.
so, yeah, they're all due at the end of December.
Okay, end of each year.
So they have to go through and look at each one of them.
And the residence at this RV park is for rent, or does he reside there? There's 2 different addresses.
No, he lives at the this is where he lives, 606 North Avenue. But the physical address for the RV is 360 B on James Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ahí donde está todo lo que está allí. La casa que está enfrente, ¿está rentada o?
La casa está rentada.
Okay, yeah, it's rented. The house is rented.
Mhm.
Okay. So the homes are, and then there's RVs in that. On less than 1 acre.
Yeah, when I see this, or if there's a big opportunity for something, you know, when I get retired, I gotta make something there, and now it's hard, everything. Yeah, if you now can rent out RV parks or not buy the house, because it's a big lot and I can do nothing there. I see a lot, you know, on the block, and then you gotta put it through everything, so.
But these guys are also going after
Yeah,
There are
I
two
see,
to
I
enforce
think
this.
only like like 3 houses got it cleaning. I think my neighbor on this side, the other one in the front, because I got Kalishi. And like one more, it's got it cleaning all the time. So all this,
I would tell you, just that we're focusing just on this property without anybody else. I mean, they
Right.
don't know what's going on. It's just this.
Right.
yeah, I'm trying to keep everybody clean all the time. And you can say that people and watching the people rent and I want to make the noise, all kind. They take care of all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I got 12 years in government and sometimes I keep him working, so it's what I know nothing because I'm working 7 days a week, all day long.
Right.
When it's winter time, I want to work more. Yeah.
But unfortunately, the ordinance reads.
So what would be the best thing for him to do?
I just bought property to do the same thing, found out the loss, so there it sits.
Yeah.
So. I'm kind of in the same boat too.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying, he's trying to figure out what he needs to do so he can get his permit.
Wow.
Expand it to 1 acre.
Yeah,
You must be
But-
on 1 acre. That is,
but not in city limits.
Cause he said he's willing to remove some of the RVs or,
His lot will never be able
Yeah,
to make
it's,
1
yeah,
acre.
it's not gonna be,
The basically what you're asking is whether he can keep his park or not. And modern code says no. If we allow this to exist, you're allowing something that does not exist anywhere in a lot of places throughout the state of Texas.
And also make note that while the request or the comment was made, what can I do to make it work? The request that he's put forth is a variance on the 1 acre. He didn't say, how can I make this work? The request is just for 1 acre,
Mhm.
not to have a 1 acre. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have to stick to what the request is being made, the variance request.
Right. Okay, if there's no further comment from the public, does the board have any questions or comments?
I would let you know that the only other option that he would have, I mean, kind of going down that road, is he'd have to do a zoning change for that particular piece of property to make it a manufactured housing. However, it's still falling under the same thing. And then we get into the other state issue of spot zoning, which would go to the spot planning and zoning commission, but now that's spot zoning, which has been deemed to be illegal by the courts.
I do have another question now that I think about it. So if this is denied, how long do they have to remove the RVs and?
It was expected to remove immediately, and we could probably give him up to 30 days to let people know, but he would have to get out right away.
Okay. Well, do we have any more questions? You guys
Yeah, not
have
much.
anything?
No tienes nada más. ¿Qué decir? Preguntas.
Entonces no voy a poder tenerlo.
Bueno, a ver qué dicen.
Sé que me dan la oportunidad si hay algo de hacer algún cambio, quitar una o algo. Pues yo siempre, desde que lo agarré, he estado manteniéndolo bueno.
What did he say? I don't.
He just said if there's a way we could change it. And
Oh.
that's why he bought it. Kind of what we've discussed.
Okay.
remove the RVs, rent a home.
I mean, you could always split the lot, put another residence on the lot and rent that as well. We have a gentleman that did that recently. He split his lot and put another house on it. Therefore, it complies with the 2 residence rule. But again, RVs are not meant for residential land.
Right, yeah.
so he would have to remove all the RVs at this
Yeah.
point.
Correct.
Okay, if there's no further questions or comments, the public hearing is now closed at 5:55 PM. We must now publicly deliberate our decision. In this case, we must determine whether A, there are special circumstances or conditions affecting the land involved such that strict application of the provisions would deprive the applicant of the reasonable use of this land, and B, the variance is necessary for the presentation and enjoyment of a substantial property right of the applicant. And C, that granting of the variance will not be detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare, or injurious to other property in the area. And D, that granting of the variance will not have the effect of preventing the orderly subdivision of other land in the area in accordance with the provisions of these regulations. I'd like to, do we have time now to discuss, right, amongst ourselves? Okay, before we. All right.
Yeah, I'm going.
It's kind of odd up here when we can't even discuss. Okay. I agree that RV parks and current, agree with that 100%. But I also think that the city's put us in an odd position here, granting permits to begin with. So I don't agree with it. I think that, I mean, I hate that this is coming to this. I don't like that there, I went back there and looked, and I lived in that neighborhood. I went.
Correct.
So. It's just a tough situation we're in to make a decision.
Right. Not only us, but city too. I mean, code enforcement and whatnot.
No, I
It's-
agree
it's a
with
city.
I agree with that 100%.
But you bring a variance through, next guy comes, then the next guy.
I'm glad that the protocol has changed on the, permits. Granted, I just want to, but it's still extends to this, these people.
And the ones coming up too,
Well,
I mean, it's
no,
gonna
it
be
won't
the
be
same.
allowed.
were the ones that are gonna come up and ask for
Oh,
variances.
oh, yeah. So,
It's-
yes, and if we do that, like, we always, discuss, we do it for one, we have to do it for the other.
Correct.
I need y'all's input on this.
That's my opinion.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna take, I said it can't pass because, it was before they were grandfathered in, so, that's why I asked.
Right, correct, yeah.
That's.
Good to go.
All right, we're good to go. All right, do I have a motion to grant the variance as requested?
Nay.
Nay. Okay. The motion has been made by board member Leo and seconded by board member James. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, the motion fails by 0-3 vote. This matter is now concluded. The city manager is directed to take all steps necessary to inform interested parties of the outcome of this hearing, their appeal rights, and to implement this decision as appropriate. Is there any further business? Okay, this meeting is adjourned. 5:59.
Excellent.